Al playing in the gold lane. Yesterday he was like with a bit more adjustment. But Marshall should feel much more familiar with the Twisted Minds gameplay. Or so
No doubt about it. Here's match number 3, draft for game 1.
real.
And did you hear earlier? He said you'll see him tomorrow. So are they planning this a week in, week out?
Was it tomorrow or next week?
Next week, yeah.
I hope you guys can join us because I'll watch next week.
Swapping out every week.
I hope not. I don't know.
He revealed it.
He revealed everyone. If that's the case, that's a crazy move. I don't know what that strategy is, but for the meantime, strategy dictates that we go Cali first.
When was the last time we saw Khalid first pick? This higher than Brian.
It's clearly a deny for Daddy JP, but it's surprising that it's picked first, despite the presence of, let's say, the Eve. And you know, Eve is a very important ingredient to the entire recipe of Liquid if they want to go for the standard gameplay. It's available right now. Let's see if Sanji picks it up here, and so is the Leeward actually.
Leeward becoming a standard first. Yesterday, easy actually instant of course, but now banning most times.
Let's just pick that up. These are two important ingredients in the liquid stampede. The Twisted Mind, the answer back. The Hylos will get nothing by a carry if Twisted Minds have their way.
Ran for like 30 seconds and we're already on number 3 on the red side.
Quick.
Nice. Quick!
People know what they want.
Liquid here, they have to think about what they want to secure for. I guess Carl could be an option here.
There you go.
So, being picked up.
New liquid stampede. Instead of the Fredrin, it's a Leo Mart.
Yeah, because that I think he's next into the priority for Team Liquid.
Carl is still the friend right now.
Yeah.
Right, that's the
Carl Fredrin,
His second favorite hero of all time. That's one.
Oh,
It's
of course, I'm sorry.
because we don't say the last
I don't see it anymore. Yeah, it slipped my mind. Oh my god. But yes, we're seeing here obviously a pretty good selection for Team Liquid's trio.
the shadows that play.
Wait, that's old MP13 and
Essentially, yes. I did see a very successful video join so they don't want to see that happen after game number 1.
Also telegraphs that you could pick more magic heroes because they have no other answers to this hero. What is MP play?
MP has been known to be very flexible in the first lane. But he is the first Leo Lord in a long time that really made that like a few seasons back, right?
Right.
Or maybe last season? Not last season.
MP just generally has a lot.
Rain for Main.
Bane?
Yep.
Oh, man. Don't see
They in the together with Eve
Twisted debut another new hero for the season.
I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, because Liquid are looking like a dive comp as of the moment. As we were talking about, there's a lot of options still there for MP the King, one of it being the Nolan, who is going to be the option. Carlo has the Khalid, so it's Lance.
As Uranus, the first Uranus of season 17.
And of course, it's in the hands of Lansu.
Okay, Daiki, no Moskov, no Claude, no Harrow. The go-to gold lane picks are gone for Daiki.
Yeah, and the carries on the other side where you would want to have it dealing against Uranus.
Okay, Daiki, are you thinking Leslie here? I tried.
Yeah.
This is very liquid sampling.
Yeah, and it still somehow completes what lacks in terms of liquids overall lineup. Because they're just going for the fusion, so they needed the burst, they needed a bit more of the range. Yeah. So somehow I think it was very liquid, and I'm very much comfortable with this kind of lineup. Whereas Twisted Minds, you see how quick they were to respond to certain picks. I think the idea, it's very, I guess, it's especially given because of the Uranus, it's not that aggressive for the start.
Yeah.
Except for the calorie.
The fans prediction showing 74% for the Stampede. Hopefully you guys scan that QR code. Maybe you can kind of find, get a chance to win 1,000 diamonds. And yeah, enjoy the show with us here tonight for our last match of game number 2. It is Twisted Minds building Sean once again. Might be a different story, might be a different feel. Let's see if that's going to happen here in game number 1.
Nausea.
Sorry, Nausea. Oh my god, where that comes from? I'm sorry.
I get it. We also used to get confused between the two
Thought in Nausea.
when we first debuted, but I was looking at their faces and but once you heard their laugh,
Sorry,
I'm over it. Yeah, I used to do the same thing. I used to. Nausea shot.
I'm sorry, guys. I know they know. I told them you guys look alike, man. I'm sorry.
But now Nausea looks like someone else. Ow!
Oh my!
also he's the owl with glasses you were saying.
That's why he says don't dash brother.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was on up. Okay.
Did you guys not see that? If you look at the Twisted Minds roster reveal, they took a photo, people go like, oh, there's 2 Nauseas.
Oh, I get it.
So it's
no glasses owls.
so it's like the two Sanjis during the Super qualifiers because Teddy also kind of looked like.
Oh yeah.
This has 2 notions. We're getting twins in NPL.
They're also twins, actually. So yeah, we're going to take a few more seconds before we get into it. Packed here in a Victoria Sports Tower right now.
Massive crowd.
Saturday night.
I mean, where else would you be? Where else? Tell me.
That's a good question.
What is it? What a better place to enjoy esports action, all right? Sam, give me the chop.
Let's go.
Okay. Interesting. I do recall that there have been instances before where Liquid started to prioritize JP's pick much more often. This being one of it. And that was the time they gradually found their way back. So against this lineup, against the Khalid, it's great they're able to scout them out. They're not feeling as much of the pressure just yet.
You know, to stand under the pressure of the scimitar.
I know that earlier we were talking about maybe some of the JP DNA is going to rub off on the Fergs. On the other here we have OGJP and he basically retains the same DNA and and now on the other side, right? It's on the other side we have the Cali being basically denied.
Hey, you know what I think it is?
What?
Is that MSC 2019 Caster Chamberlain?
There he is here!
Oh! In the Canada Aspen, no, in the Arnold Coast.
Yeah, welcome to the stage, brother.
I can recognize an old family when I meet you.
And he pretty much still plays that. I'm sorry. So, wow, welcome. Got lots of guests here.
So you want to tell me where you gotta be if you want to enjoy sports action?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, JP pops a revival. Come on! Get down, Daddy JP drops first blood.
The last minute second decision to use the flicker wasn't a very calculated decision that we got to see from Kaloy right there. Handing over first blood. You have to think, no, that's a fusion. There have been adjustments to this.
All right. Interesting interaction.
What?
Those are Kaloy's former teammates from the campaign this season.
They know how Kamari moves then. They have a really good feel. It's very crucial as well.
Kamari should have no deal with that.
Yeah, this is how the duo plays. I should not put myself in this
I can
position.
tell the aggression as well.
See, guys.
The favorite part is you also put in the flicker, right? So that's going to be a lot of minutes that you're pretty much safe. PLCH knows this.
Let's see what we do. Adam Steve here by Carl's Easy. Sanford to the rest of the club confirmed. Secured by Liquid.
Okay, Twisted Minds gave up that Antico King was on his way to his purple book just as Liquid were trying to position themselves. All Lancer could literally do was get some information. And soon, Liquid, it'll be an equally easy task for them to just read whatever Twisted Minds is planning. There's a slight advantage towards their side. Twisted Minds are yet to actually do something. So sure.
Oh! Liquidation by Sean. No dice coming in. Lifton not having any of it. Kaloi in trouble. Gets smacked up. Damage from Daddy JP. But Sandguard does not get hit. Pulled out. Oh! And like a random spider going home.
Yeah, that was brutal. And I think they were pretty much happy with the space they created, the space they fought here. Although Sanford was unnecessary Liquid there. A little bit, just a few more seconds late, honestly.
Yeah.
Never an idea.
Khalid moves really fast. Although the quicksand was already down, it won't be that difficult for him to actually move away from the threat of the Land Shaker. Now though, there is an upcoming. Oh no, that's actually could have been moving too fast. We have 39 seconds before the next objective. But so far, the fact that JP and Sanji have always been working together, taking control of everything. Oh, okay.
MP tried to burst down JP, not having any of it.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of a big ask, right? Usually at this point, if you want to take out JP, you might need like 2 or 3 more extra hands. So, yeah, let's try here. But Kaloy definitely not having a fun time, just making sure he's secure inside Tesla.
A bit of a silver lining for Twisted. Yes, they did lose the initial encounter, but at least, Liquid isn't crossing the river. At least they aren't stealing MP's resources.
So they're still agreeing, or they're still abiding by this your side is my side.
For now. There's MP with the data heptases, ready to pop it. So it happens. Trying to secure the orange first. Turtle Dawn's beginning. It looks like a fair fight. I mean, 50-50 for Twisted.
It's like they are crossing the line and Sandy, look at Twisted.
CJ calls it Barbier. And Liquid are pushing him, but MP still secures the turtle. That's a lot of damage right down on the Liquid, but they're pushing forward. Kaloy bites it. Back before Sandy goes down. 1-for-1 trade. JP very low. JP still alive. Sandy gets bursted down. Liquid's back. Lasso pushing forward. This is what I miss from the Uranus. He's able to just sandbag a lot of damage and give it back as long as the opponents are willing to fight.
Yeah, he knew exactly who to go for. Sanji was already low enough because of the real world manipulation. Lancer was the guy to finish things off. And right after taking that kill on Sanji, he just worked with the rest of Twisted Minds and literally served his purpose of being someone to just annoy the heck out of Liquid.
Annoying.
Sasha, behave. Out of the tier 1.
Alright, staying there, he got Twisted, pretty strong.
Attempting a steal, and we will not get it. Instead, they trade FP for OP. FP, where's the call? Kong is manipulation, keeping the goat down.
That's severe punishment coming in from Twisted. Of course, teammates would still get detected for some resources on the top side of the map. That was interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting because now they finally crossed the river, but Twisted Minds, they're ready to fight back. They were able to respond against Carl TZ and Sanford, who were trying to take away that orange box.
Yeah, they're like border patrol here. Hey, someone cross into our land. Make sure you make them pay. And pay they did.
Twisted Minds now.
Not in the lead.
Now they are.
Small lead, but you know, the fact that you clap back from the early aggression of
Yeah, that's saying something. And a carry that's basically farming freely because everyone's just so busy keeping their source post.
Yeah, had to come back. Score and no shot. They get his debut with S17. Day number 2. FP gets bursted down by a chop. Last turtle up for grabs. Lancer. Throw for a feel at the back line. There is the RWM, the answer to the Venom Seed. CC Immune coming through. JP the on passive damage. No shot. Very low, but still the front line. Down goes 40. Underneath, knocking it off the sun. He falls. They up for 2 for 1 here. Twisted Mind's winning, given that Liquid did push a little too deep.
Yeah, that's a little too deep, losing the Sand duo in the process.
Yeah, and Twisted Mind, they set up for that objective so well. It's always in a trend that MP the King finds certain members, brings them down to half HP, so Liquid aren't at their full potential whenever there is going to be an objective fight. Fortunately, there has been, once again, a very sharp retribution coming from CarTV. They took that objective, but yet again, Twisted Mind, the way they positioned themselves and brought Sanford close under that turret actually benefited them so well. But Kaloy, okay, does have the information. Carl looking for another steal.
Whoa, Glory! Oh, combo with the Venom Seed underneath here too. Liquid finds Rosha. And they find Kaloy too. Daiki scores 1. Sanji Lancer. Rosha can only do so much given the range, and they take down Sean too. Turns out for the goat. Lancer, very low, flickers back out. Sanji can't dunk him. 3 for 1. Massive win for Liquid.
Literally the stampede was they start things up and just keep it going, and now they are going to take that 2-2 turret as well. I usually thought, I just said it, they are going to potentially go for that steal, but it was actually a pickoff, and it wasn't just a pickoff at that. They actually got 2 members from Twisted Minds alongside that turret.
Yeah, we pretend, says TLDH. When we start the stampede, everyone follows, and they're looking really good.
It's so difficult for Twisted Minds to make the most of the strong lead Lancer has. Because again, what do you do best? DOT, but it's very slow. And then what else? You can't stop Liquid from getting to Rosha, to getting to Sean.
Yeah.
And then you're not helping MP exactly do his job.
The best you can do is also just catch the bullets from Daiki, but at the very end, it doesn't even matter, right? Blocking bullets, yeah, so what? Yeah, what?
Actually, this becomes a better start for Twisted Minds pre-objective, since Lancer's already here, first to actually get some information, but that's the thing, Twisted Minds, I don't think they have any idea where Liquid are going to come from.
That's one thing he gives is good information, but what do you do with that information?
Right. Can you do anything about that information? That's a good question.
The sauce is turning lethal. Lord, that's about half health. KP getting boosted down, drop. That goes that way. Crimson Beacon to bite Sanji. Kaloy at half health as well. Sean with a swipe, but they can't stop the goat. Roth easy eats that Lord out. Score for Liquid.
Such a well-coordinated call from Liquid to just go in for the engage, so Twisted Minds are forced to push back, just as Carl Tizzy and Daiki work on the objective. So they literally were just after the Lord. They didn't want to take on Twisted Minds just here.
That was another show, and there's basically no opening there for MP to actually go for the steal. Just have exactly feel for his plan.
Yep. Right now they have the Lord. It spawned immediately. So there are still holy shields for Twisted Minds, even though their base turrets have already exploded. And fortunately, they have been able to defend, I think, 30 of their folks for some time now, okay?
Alright. I don't really want to get even more here, so it's Lord's gonna be loud. Big minions on there.
Always pathway. The answer, 2 of the tier, 1 taken mid. 30 with the flank. Where is Owen? JP gets bursted down. Not enough from MP just yet, and I think, right, they're able to save that holy shield. What shame it would be if that holy shield popped just cause,
Like 1 minion, 2 minions, right? So they can keep that defended for a minute and a minute more at this point. So they'll be happy to take that 3K goalie for TRPH. Looking really nasty. That was just
There's a big by Sanji. Flickers back out. After the there is a first happening. Madam C called in. I think his bike.
Okay. At least for now, Liquid can still afford to do those kinds of engages, I feel, especially the one we saw previously in that last Lord fight. JP deciding to go it all alone, forcing out the reaction and possibly even the ultimate from Nosha because he had his revitalized Endurance battle pack with him still, so he will have a way to get out unless he gets knocked down by crowd control. But not until Nosha gets enough damage, already completes or is able to farm up well enough to literally melt the HP of this high loss, then there might be some adjustments needed from Liquid side.
Yeah, also the reason why it feels like Liquid is slowing down a little bit on the stampede. For these engages feel like there's a little soft. Maybe a lot more respected for the burst everything actually that Charlotte the field that Charlotte can create. It feels like the stampede from the initial really big wave, but now like we're back into this.
Yes, even the you mentioned the European calculations have been something that makes the job for Sanji a bit more difficult because you saw it earlier too when Sanji just tried or wanted to go in, literally use the lantern flares onto certain members of Twisted Minds, but the fact that there is a regulation, you can do as you please. Although there are multiple ways for you to get out. There's a pistol, there's a Crimson Beacon, you want to use it offensively against this lineup, and they don't get to take away that.
They do. They did not secure. I think it was a hard Twisted Minds really performed just very fast because they first caused the least retribution.
At least it didn't get it. No, teammates got it.
It went from first to back.
Really, you know that. Now we have to get ready for this big Lord fight here. We're still juggling this. Absolutely looks versus down. Notion looks confident.
Twisted, turning his constant on tape. The blitz, Notion scores. Kahoot gets him out of there. The flicker back, so does Lancer. He's phantom speed, not the train drive. Liquid just could not react. Twisted Minds stole that away.
I like how the retribution battles have been really tight. It's back and forth. Yeah.
I know. It's amazing to see right now. It feels like they're more right. Are you sure, MB the King? You can take it?
Well, it wasn't actually the retri who got the objective.
But you can see both of them are really eye to eye on this one. And that's what I like to see. You don't back down from a fight. I like that from Twisted. And for your page, it's called Freezy trying to choose first.
I don't think Liquid was sure Twisted was going to do that because Freddy was still at the bottom lane when Twisted said go.
So it feels like they were forced to do it at that point.
And Lancer, again, doing such a great job at just making sure they have enough space to move around with. Oh, the Phantom Steed got seriously killed.
Yeah, dude, Carl can't take Lancer alone. So this man-to-man wasn't going to lead to much. That is why Twisted Minds have pulled the map. Kaloi! Down to a fourth in his health. Found the percent guard. JP very low. Down to first and then from MP. War is taken care of. But wait. Twisted Minds thought that would have been. Scored a Raven and they got the push.
Again, MB the King. Passes him there on Surge. He almost got him actually.
Sneaky Carl. Middle ground theft from will not get the push in mid. So at least Liquid able to equalize.
Yeah, somehow. Liquid is leading by one. Terrace, they got the 2-1 in midfield against or off of this as well. But MZ the King so far in this game, this is the version you get when there's nothing to know disturbance in terms of his jungling, in terms of his farming. And the entries that he does since like the first minute of the game have made things a lot more difficult for Daiki, have made things a lot more difficult for Sanji. Chiefy, yes, he's in front of everyone, but MP the King, he's not someone you get to easily spot.
Good to see you. JP, that's a Crimson Beacon. Where are you going? That's the answer. You're going to be a drum shot, trying his best, but it's not going to save Nosha. Nosha! And now underneath tier 2 and then they get the slap on the line. Daiki gets him. Shot falls. So does MP. Daiki gets a double. Where's the recalls, young gun?
Oh my goodness, that last shaker coming in clutch from Sanford, stunning 3 members of Twisted Minds who were trying to...
Oh my God.
He's doing it.
Horse flexing.
Oh man, look at that.
Inside the base. Out of the lines, a good defense. Always popping. Plus the lantern flare. That comes forward the rest of Liquid as they take game number one. Flexer. Into and then they got the slap. Lloyd Dyke gets him. Shot falls. One of their feet. Dyke gets a double. There's the recalls, young gun.
Oh my goodness, a land shaker coming in clutch from Sanford, stunning three members of Twisted Minds who were trying to.
Oh my God.
He's doing it.
Horse flexing.
Oh man, look at that.
Inside the base. Out of the lines, defense. Always popping. That comes forward the rest of Liquid as they take game number one.
Excellent take here, Team Liquid Philippines. Very much in form for game one. They took Twisted by surprise in that last one. I didn't see it coming.
Twisted surprised us too, though. Like the way they played that back and forth against Liquid, it looked like a really close game, but every single time, Liquid with just a single call for a big play and that one straight push towards ending the game. It's so hard to just find when is it or feel when is it gonna happen before it gets Liquid.
I mean, Liquid basically played this cold to cold for the most part of the game until 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden, Liquid swaps it out. They go for the stealing attacking, more attacking.
Like this, like that's I think the first call that Liquid did. Because the thing about these calls that they do is that they're always on the same page. Like there's no one member who feels hesitant, stays a bit far behind. And similar to what we're seeing in this last sequence, Liquid they went all the recalls, but you have to give it to JP as the game MVP, that Hylos, who at the very beginning restricted the movements Iframi could do in the early game.
I think he was a huge anchor in this one, especially if JP was low, we can't make it play, right? It had to be JP, he needed to be in a good form, he had to be in shape, and then he go for something.
Yeah. And how many times did he almost die but did not die? A huge part of it was the combo of the Revitalize and the Glorious Pass was to save him, but there were moments.
That was a joke.
Yeah, I know that.
Takes you a lot.
There were moments where even that one fight that happened down bottom, close to their base turret, he looked as if he definitely was gonna go down there, but he didn't, and he could just keep going.
Yeah, there's very few moments here where Carl is slacking. Look at these engagements, very decisive, fighting it out even under the turret.
That is undeniable synergy for the patriarch of Liquid. Advocates, you're doing it again.
Advocates.
They've done it all throughout 2025 and even in 2026.
Yeah, even way back then, right? Daddy Cakes is just a thing. We gotta make that a thing now.
Yeah,
Because
It's been a thing all this time.
like almost
Since season 14.
oh, okay. I can tell.
15, I think that.
They were so good. They were so good at it. And I think when Daddy makes a play, the cakes follows.
Something like that.
He's like, I'll workshop. Thank you so much. Yeah, nice try.
because there are a lot of like duos we could point out in the entire game. Even JP and Sanji, I feel that one play they did was the conceal, where they just jumped onto Sean, and at the time I think it was Mosha or Kaloy, and that was one of the moments where things slowly started to turn around for Team Liquid.
But you know what? I take it back. I think there really is just something to tweak when it comes to buff counters.
Love counter, why?
The buff counters need to be updated. Like,
Because of the side steam.
it wasn't the side stealing from earlier today.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure everything had a healthy amount of oranges and purples.
Yeah, there was no crossing the rivers. No,
Yeah.
And I remember they actually said that, you know what, they're not really stopping anything that much on the card, but there were a lot of times when it actually just disrupt the purple. Yeah, that was all they were trying to block out.
Just the purple.
Yeah.
Which a lot of times, and even that one moment when they were trying to take away the orange buff, and they still got it, or someone from Twisted Mind still got it anyway. So there has to maybe tomorrow. That's what they said.
That's what they always say.
Tomorrow is
Have to do it.
yesterday's today.
Yes. After what happened to Marcel today, I wonder.
Maybe on the way here, I'm sure they were watching.
Today, yesterday's tomorrow. But that's today.
Blowing the I'm not sure if that's correct.
That's what time travel kids.
That's right. That was basic. That's like another. Let's go into this one. So many first pick rolls. I think Eve is still pretty much the good one. I can take that no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, without choosing especially. Just advance was so quick to respond. But they didn't go on once again. And then early quad pickup. Same thing. Another response. So this is looking to go all in again. I really keep this pattern. But for
Everyone shows me the shadow.
also go for Suzu is the lock instead. Okay. I feel like JP might want to take his hero once again. This one. The rose is still available if they want to replicate that. Oh, the good height, that's a thing!
You called it. You called it. 5 unique heroes in 5 games.
Nike. And the smile on his face says he knows what's up. I'm like,
Is it still not gonna sink in after this?
No way it doesn't, right? No way. That's a huge flex, by the way, right? Like, I can do this, especially if you have
Yeah, it's nice to see because you know him to be, as an analyst most of the time, but when you let him play, he's the guy.
Yes, the actress.
this is getting entertaining enough for me to forget Eric.
Not quite.
Not quite.
You haven't even had a chance yet.
Yeah, I can't believe he said that because he's the
Cheeky guy.
I have to go through the stages of grief, alright?
Okay,
And today it's denial.
you're in denial. You're in D right now.
Yep.
Which also stands for Nike. All right.
Oh my god, great answer by the way. Talking about Kimmy on Sean. This was his hidden weapon.
Yes.
For the longest time, people stopped him from getting the Mars. He thought he was so much a Kimmy.
Yeah.
Mars is one of his favorites.
The hidden way. Side notes. Oh, yeah, sure.
we only could use of Sean and Sean.
Sorry, gladly I didn't get them mixed up there. Kimmy, obviously the savage play, you cannot forget that. That got savage, right? Yes. Or was it you? That both of them.
I mean, Savage Kimmy. I have 10 kills Kimmy. Or 17 kills Kimmy.
That's Sean.
That's Sean.
Savage Ruin.
Oh, savage is thank you.
Yeah. So now the JP heroes have been taken out, so they're left with again. Hyros. Maybe they saw this coming out anyways.
Or, hear me out. I want to see Chip.
A chip!
Chip, come on.
Yeah, Chip.
It's kind of like close, up close and personal. They do it.
Or maybe they could look at what Twisted Minds put for their EXP too, because you wouldn't want some sort of response to come in whenever you drop down the portal. There's no heroes left for Lancey. Lancey.
I get that. Lancey played. I get him so style a lot. You get that, don't worry.
I will have no room.
So, your turn. We're gonna swap out.
We'll try.
I'm putting the pressure on Daddy JP here.
What, Chip? Cho?
Yes, he does use the term, but I'm not sure if he wants.
Oh, Cho had so low. Disgusting.
The Canadian still
He was open
great.
too.
Okay, I think it's gonna pair up well with what Liquid wants to do so far. Aside from that, the XC lane, we're looking at a XP lane. Rappi, still available. We don't get to see the U-Drones anymore. You know what? It's so funny because Samsung actually brought out the usual. I would doubt it.
Sean would be making sad noises.
And we worked really well against both the Farsa and the Fraud. Oh, the Sora! Okay, it's still there.
Sora. Gauge and as well as firepower, both magic and physical. Loving it.
Yes. Yes. Talented.
It's gonna be a bad goal skirmish, won't it? Like everyone's just gonna wanna snowball into a death ball and clash against each other.
Yeah. I'm liking how. Well, it is a bit scaling for Twisted Minds. We can't deny the fact that it's a Claude Alice once again. But we saw how teams were able to hold out long enough could really get the value out of these two heroes come the mid to late portions of the game, especially against Team Liquid, who, based on their lineup, once they've used up majority of the resources, are very ultimate based, I guess. Just or Twisted Minds could just really go in for the prolonged team fight.
Oh, same for maybe the cereal. It's all independent.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking for that green dot.
Yeah. So that's something Twisted Minds would potentially get to capitalize, especially if Lancy gets a great head start to this game, and similar to what we saw from yesterday, in the hands of Ben Sanford against Aurora. And this is definitely the game that Twisted Minds should take for themselves if they want to at least give us a game 3 this Saturday. A super fast Saturday.
You were able to do it yesterday, so you know what? I would not have put it against them or put it past them to actually be able to do it here. I'm also a little surprised about Ansu's Alice, because there's so many broken walls here. So with Alan Alice, you want to pack people in your car. So if the walls are broken, they would just walk out.
It's easier to get away.
Yeah, so normally you fight in the jungle and everyone's just, they can't run towards a specific area.
Crap.
And now they can. It might be actually played against the Alice.
It's like the PG version of Saul. It's just not as dangerous.
And the fact that their heroes too are very high mobility. Harith, Khalid, Sarah.
They just walk out.
They could just walk out and dodge that throne of ruin once it gets thrown at them. So yeah, Lancy does have a very huge responsibility if majority of the setup is going to come from him. But looking at this lineup, it is going to come from him.
Gosh, put that on 30 minutes health, just like that.
That was a shocking way to actually start off game number 2 here. Yeah, that's a desert tornado. It hurts like hell.
And look at where he had to fly all over the map just so they could follow.
Hey, take it down. The Predator takes him.
Not like that, man. Oh my god. That is a huge tempo swing.
Sean couldn't even position himself in the mid lane. He's trying to get near by the kids. Yeah, just look at how PC and it's not on the XP.
Gosh, gets chased down by Daiki and Carl. That's the Daiki case.
How why is everyone compared with cakes? Okay, but here's a question. How is this happening across all lanes? Liquid are winning it out. Top, mid, and bottom.
I'll tell you how to bring it up. This is just how their house. They're champions. Looking forward.
Okay, first Nike now.
Is this for the first time in MPL history? Twisted Minds put into place. Is this them? Getting shown the ropes, as the kids say. Kids say that, right?
They say that. I love it when you said kids who immediately turned to bring it up.
That's creepy and strategy. I think they did it together.
See, that's called teamwork. Okay, try to get with the platform, you know?
All the almost 1,000 here, 2 minutes in. Making the fourth to get a little greedy. Watch Queller to the face of Kaloi. Liquid Earth, the food essentially. You're taking the time with this short take.
I don't know if Black still wants to go for any final slash at this point.
To revitalize. This in his house. Lancer looking for the throne. Comes in with the flicker. Carlson secures. Carl goes down. 40 gets a kill. MP. Can he go down? Oh, yes, he does with a momentum charged up. But he gets taken down by Dad.
That's one.
That's a big ouch. That's a big ouch. He was assisted.
Yeah. Even if MP was there, clearly that favored Liquid. They were able to get so many kills across the board. And at this point, after what we've seen from Carl TZ 2 days in a row, him dying X number of times early on, I feel like doesn't really matter.
Whoa! So straight through the points, Black. Ready, Sandstorm, 40 fights MP once more. It's a double, takes down Sean. But he gets shut down by Kaloi. Carl Easy, going to take that small cap.
Why are we seeing this Sora just now? It's such an aggressive Sora. Well, that's aside the fact that he is matched up against the Alice in lane, so there's a lot more leeway for him to just constantly go out and join in the fight.
They just got over there. Look at the light.
Time to drop the end. Going to really low at home. JP pushing Kaloi back.
What is happening is I'm seeing a little bit of nerves here. Not just for specific members, right? Most of them.
Or there's a bit of a disconnect. Like, I feel like he's just doing things.
Happy to things.
He was still present in that objective. It's harder that Lancer and the others couldn't just really go in. But just in mind, after especially what Sean has been through in the mid lane, I kind of get it. I need to put more time.
I'm trying to buy as much time as they can. That's why Kaloi mostly is running defensive. If you guys knows on the high nest, doesn't really want to forward too much. Even at this point, Kaloi is just on over duty. Here's a watch, basically.
Standing beside JP. That's what they can do.
Not sure what the plan is here, because obviously they're trying to slow him down.
Alright, they jiggers up. I thought Sean was out in the last moment. Oh, lady! Oh, it did. Pops of that red line. Crossbows pathway to survive the onslaught from Sanji and Arthur. That's a ghost signal. Take it. 30 goes into thunder form. They got a kill, maybe a couple. Pushing back 3, got an airstrike. And Sanford gets out of there, and he's still keeping up the pressure as Carlton secures the turtle.
That's like the third time that he pops thunder. It's always something for here for Sanford.
And he did all that by himself. Like, they were positioned in the lanes, Carl TV together with JP. We're working on the objective. They have all sides covered against Twisted Minds, and people King has a lot of catching up to do.
Ready and thunder for once more. Have the flicker taken down 30 and the trade to push him in.
Yeah, crazy.
How?
That was Nike and Sanji without both of their ultimates, so I'm assuming Russia had a miscalculated BMI or even misuse of the blazing bullet, and he gets caught under the 2 ultimates.
Okay. Flicker out, survives both Sean and Kaloi's attempts. Now Sanji, we're gonna clap back. MP in the perimeter. Daddy JP. JP's holding on to both the flicker and Eraser Sandstorm. Alright, no action.
Alright, I can tell why they're going for broken walls now. We're seeing Daddy JP basically making a beeline to a target. Locked whatsoever. It's so much easier.
That's how he is enjoying it. This is everywhere.
It's a force multiplier for the sandwall.
Yeah. And now Liquid are slowly taking away a huge chunk of the supplies and the remaining resources. And Peter King doesn't get his purple again.
Yeah. Is he guilty of Grand Theft Auto?
That's huge. Obviously, Carl TV has been very low key here in this game. He's constantly securing most of the objectives for himself. With very little assist, honestly.
He's taking MP judgment.
It's none of it. Plus more. Plus a little bit more tax.
I like that, Michael.
MP, Michael's seeing down Venom. Looks like they've already given up the turtle yet again. We're just going to focus on the opposite side of the map.
Want to take a touch money again? Oh, even it's denied.
But the Cowboys is will slowly inch towards Team Liquid with everything happening right now. So a little bit of force onto the
Hey! LP! Just taken down by 40 and JP!
So he loses his lunch money, he loses his life, and he's just not having a good day.
Oh, JP doesn't survive that.
A little bit of redemption.
Yeah.
That was JP's first death, by the way. Given all of his actions crossing deep in the Twisted Mind side of the jungle, his first death
Surprisingly, it's only his first.
in 8 minutes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, for the past 8 minutes, he's always been like right in your face. So, let's take a quick look at the
Oh, that's the infinite cannon.
Pac-Man.
Yeah, infinite
The mechanics on the coffee is a field.
And it's the best time to do it because he's just naturally farming on that side. How do you fast farm?
I think maybe equally as mobile as a Lancelot, Suyo does the coffees he likes.
Yeah. Let's go in and out. A lot of dashes, some clutch ways to secure kills and go in for the cleanups. A lot of sustain too, so long as you get that killing spree. Twisted Minds, looking at their lineup right now, it's will be facing some.
Oh, Mikey and Sanji get caught by this four-man coalition from Twisted. How'd that happen?
Twisted finally find the opening. Kaloy!
Aloy gets tested down, but no, he's not done. Nausea with his defensive unit blazing the weapon, causing he's still blind, and Nausea finishes with Goot. I don't care about my idols. We will win no matter what. More for one trade.
A miscalculation on the dash from Carl following that pickoff for those two members that Twisted Minds eventually got to pick off on Cypher.
40, there's fire, and then strike. Gordon Blue gets eaten up by Twisted.
We're seeing an audition happen in real time, ladies and gents.
Oh, Gordon Blue, and they think they're just stopping this Lord. Lord is very low. Down to an 8. Titan gets caught between 4. Looking forward, Nosh. Another blazing duet. Nosh is still alive. He secures JP with a flicker kill on the Nosh. Double kill for Daddy.
That was bloody. It was. MP the King. He really fought for that. But that flicker raging Samster coming in from JP to take out his members. We're even now. 10-10 on the terrace for both Liquid and Twisted Minds. But I have to say, this isn't the first time in the series that a certain surprise play from a high loss turned things around.
We're actually averaging 2 kills a minute here so far in our series of that Infinite Sand Can. The GBC is being used by Carl. She's the ghost herself. Really good. And the first string as well, Twisted making their mark.
We are seeing so many instances of Liquid slightly overheating in this game. They do still have the lead though, but definitely will have to work on the Lord. And now that Lansu has been in a more stable position, 205 on this Alice, I wouldn't be surprised if they go for another big flip.
Okay, they're not out of the woods just yet. Lord is just about to march in. So even if they did get a good clap back in the pit with JP's heroics, they have to take care of this Lord. They might even lose tier 2 down bottom.
Losing tier 2 is going to be, I guess, it's going to be okay for TLPH as long as they don't pop the protection. I think that will be. Hold on, look at that as well.
They do get a trade up top.
Well, they all went back. They saw TV up top, and every single member of Twisted Minds reacted to that.
Decent recovery. That's a decent recovery here from TLPH, but they were losing and they were bleeding the resources.
For bottom lane tier 2 are only shield up top. I think Liquid have found a way to kind of inch their way back into a commanding position.
A little bit more TF side in that last one.
This is the first Lord fight, yeah.
Carl still 2K ahead of MP, also picked up the Queen's Rings just now. So there is a bit of catching up for MP. The play that we saw in that previous team fight around the Lord, that he is still capable of doing what's expected of a leaderboard once you give him an opportunity to do so. But that really qualities tonight again, successfully taking down at least one or two members who are very crucial in establishing their block.
It feels like they need like a multiple series of unfortunate events from Team Liquid for that to happen again. And so far, TLPH looks like they tightened up a little bit more on that side. And now, how do you emulate that again? I think that's the problem for Twisted.
I think Sean knew that JP was hot, and now constantly follows through. Tonight, Hardy with his mid laner's backside. First one to the upper quarter.
Banzo has the first position here. RTD still on the opposite side of the map once again.
Right, which most CEOs would do that. Just play around on the other side, use your mobility and your advantage.
And you can literally run there.
So quick.
They don't have any information that was potentially going to come from that angle.
Let's see. So far, TLPH holding it steady here on that.
The low drops the rose pathway. JP answers back right from that river rush on. With a bit of their strike. Left them on 4. Whoa! Mutilation coming through. And they cancel it just quickly. Nosha. The long range blazing duet. Down goes Kaloy. 1-for-1 range. Down goes Sean. 40 finds it. And another one for the Apex Predator. Triple kill for 40.
You know what, low-key, it is the 40 show here, right now, for TLPH. Bring down onto the Thunderthorn once more.
That was a clutch change of target. December, he saw that the Winter Crown wasn't playing for Nausea, decided to go for Sean instead, and once the duration was down, still went in for that kill towards Nausea. Big for Team Liquid Philippines, finally able to take this Lord and Twisted Minds again on the back foot.
Very reliant matchup. And in that moment, in that fight, it's whoever used the green dot better.
The green dots matter. Not just your lives. The dots matter.
Yeah, I think their lives more.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. So, yeah.
And aside from that, Daiki was starting to feel the damage. He was alongside JP.
With the flicker spent too.
Wait a second.
That opening is going to punish hard here. In comes Daiki, dropping a zap on first. Down goes Kaloy. Better get like by Sean. He's dropping all these salvos. Can't even take down the goal. Cards easily walks away.
Series of unfortunate events. Poor Twisted.
Oh my God! Gets popped by Daiki.
He didn't have his Winter Crown at that moment. That was a risk he took. Then he did not expect the damage.
Another double force from Daiki inside the face. Hits down and be the king. Now also in his sights. Can Daiki find another? Gets a double. Where's the recall? There it is. He's feeling himself. Liquid starting a business. About to get their second win in season 17.
With conviction, Team Liquid, the Philippines, gives the blowdown on to Twisted Minds. That is a huge knockout if I've ever seen one myself.
Another 2-0 for today. Happy New Year, everyone. New Year. No, but even despite this being a 2-0, definitely props to Twisted Minds. Despite it being either Arl or Nausea, they did not let their opponents take easy wins against them.
Not against Nausea, but yesterday